Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing great wherever you're watching from today. We have a significant update with the war in Ukraine between Russia and Ukraine, attempts for peace, and a new deal between Ukraine and the United States that might be the biggest step yet we've taken towards having peace in the region, having peace in Ukraine. Before we get into all of that and much more, please make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell above so you always know when a new video is coming, and comment with your thoughts on the war in Ukraine below. I want to hear your thoughts on why the war started, how you think the war is going to end, and what we can do moving forward. Now, let's get into it. As we all know, the war in Ukraine has been raging for years since Vladimir Putin who is obviously the leader of Russia, ordered his forces into Ukraine to try to seize it. It turned into a prolonged conflict. The Russians failed to seize Kiev, or however you want to pronounce it, however we're spelling it these days. And then the war more or less turned into a trench-style warfare out in the east, with the Russians controlling large amounts of territory, but failing to take all their objectives. It's been an absolute bloodbath of the worst degree, and President Trump, since returning to office, he's made it clear it is a priority for him to bring the dying to an end, stop the killing, stop the dying. And one of the deals that he offered Ukraine was a mineral rights deal. This deal was supposed to be signed a while ago. We'll get into that here shortly. That didn't happen after a blow up in the Oval Office between the Ukrainian leader Zelensky, Trump, and Vice President J.D. Vance. Well, as of May 1st, the deal was signed on April 30th. I'm filming this on May 1st. Let me go ahead and throw this up on the screen for you here. This comes from Reuters. It says Ukraine, let me pull it up. It says that Ukraine and the U.S. on Wednesday signed a deal heavily promoted by U.S. President Donald Trump that will give the United States preferential access to new Ukrainian mineral deals and fund investment in Ukraine's reconstruction. The two countries signed the accord in Washington after months of sometimes fraught negotiations, with uncertainty persisting until the last moment, with word of an 11th hour snag. The accord establishes a joint investment fund for Ukraine's reconstruction as Trump tries to secure a peace settlement in Russia's 3-year-old war in Ukraine. The agreement is central to Kiev's efforts to mend ties with Trump and the White House, which frayed after he took office in January. Ukrainian officials have hoped that the deal would ensure continued U.S. support for Ukraine's defense against Russia. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Ukrainian First Deputy Prime Minister Yulia Servidenko, I'm sure I butchered that, were shown signing the agreement in a photo posted on X by the Treasury, which said the deal clearly signals the Trump administration's commitment to a free, sovereign, and prosperous Ukraine. Servidenko wrote on X that the accord provides for Washington to contribute to the fund. In addition to direct financial contributions, it also provides new assistance, for example, air defense systems for Ukraine, she said. Washington did not directly address that suggestion. The U.S. has been Ukraine's single largest military donor since Russia's 2022 invasion, with aid of more than $62 billion, according to the Kiel Institute in Germany. Some have argued that number is much higher, north of $100 billion. Before the signing, Trump repeated on Wednesday that the U.S. should get something for its aid to Kiev, thus the effort to secure a deal for Ukraine's plentiful deposits of rare earth minerals. In announcing the deal, the U.S. Treasury said the partnership recognized the significant financial and material support that the people of the United States have provided to the defense of Ukraine since Russia's full-scale invasion. So that is the report of what this mineral deal does. Now, why is this mineral deal important? Let's talk about that right now. The reason this mineral deal is important is because it ties the United States directly to Ukraine. It ties us even more financially. It makes us the beneficiary of their minerals. And thus, we're putting our own skin in the game. With our own skin in the game and our own money now at risk, we have something huge to gain. The Russians, in theory, I'm not saying that this is going to happen for sure. In theory, the Russians might be less hesitant, or it might be more hesitant, to get directly involved if they know there's Americans there, and now they're messing with American money. They're not just messing with Ukrainian money, they're messing directly with American money. It's supposed to be a deterrent. Will it work? That remains to be seen. But how did we get here? Well, we got here because this was delayed after the infamous Oval Office meeting, which if you have never seen the video, I'm going to roll it here shortly. But the deal was delayed significantly. Now the deal is signed. We're going to talk about where we go next. But let's roll the footage right now of the hilarious, whatever you want to call it, Oval Office meeting between Trump, Zelensky, and Vance. Let's roll the tape.
Have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's backed you far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
The biggest question now is, where does the war in Ukraine go from here? Will a formal peace deal be reached between Ukraine and Russia in the near future? Should the U.S. get even more involved than what they're doing with the minerals deal? The truth to that is, anyone who says they know for sure how the war in Ukraine is going to end has likely no idea what they're talking about. Russia is dug in. They show zero signs of wanting to pull their troops out. They show zero signs of wanting to pack up and go home. That seems to indicate that the most likely outcome here is the battle lines where they are now are likely going to be frozen. You will see little movement to no movement. This could drag on for a significant more period of time. But where the battle lines are now, my best guess is that's probably where they're going to stay. You might have like a de facto DMZ zone. You'll have the United States with its energy companies going in to get the rare earth minerals as part of this mineral deal. I don't think you'll see the Russians go anywhere near them, because Russia knows in a direct conflict with the United States, they would get absolutely steamrolled. For example, we have thousands of stealth fighter jets, thousands of them. Russia's believed to have a grand total of 10, and it's unclear how many of them are even able to fly at the moment, with some projections saying it could be as little as 1 or 2 of them. Russia does not want a direct conflict with the United States because they know they're absolutely outmatched, or NATO as a whole. So I think they're going to stay put where they are. Ukraine is going to lose territory. You're going to see the lines be frozen. And where things are now is essentially going to become the new normal. And this deal, the idea behind it is, with the United States and our businesses involved on the ground, it will stop the Russians from going anywhere near wherever they are. That's what you hope. I can't see a scenario where the Russians would ever fire on Americans there, military or not. That would be absolute insanity on their part. And then maybe somewhere down the road, they reach a formal ceasefire or peace deal, maybe a Korean War style ending where there's no formal end of hostilities, but there's a ceasefire that just essentially lasts for decades and decades. But that's my guess. I want you to comment below with how you think the war in Ukraine is going to end. Make sure to like and subscribe. And whatever you think, it doesn't matter. Let me know. I will as always, I'll see you all next time.